Why has Punch the Monkey impacted so many people throughout the world? It seems like every single person I've seen online talking about this, and even me, I'm watching the story and just feeling it in my heart, right? And I want to talk about why that is. People are responding to a collective wound that we all share. And Punch the Monkey is bringing that to our attention. It's bringing our own wounding to our attention. And so the abandonment core wound, which is a collective wound that all of humanity shares. Every single person has this wound. And you can't really heal the abandonment core wound until every single person has healed from this wound. But what is seeing this experience that Punch is having? What is that bringing up for us? What that is bringing up is 5 different symptoms. The first one is rejection, right? We're seeing that live in real time. He got rejected by his own mother. So that's bringing up the mother wound, right? The mother wound is, I didn't feel, and maybe still don't, accepted by my mother. I didn't feel loved by my mother. Or in some cases, I was abandoned by my mother. And that's the mother wound energy. So we're seeing that in real time with him, and that's bringing up those feelings within us. And even if you are still in contact with your mother, maybe there's been tension, or you never really felt accepted and loved for who you are. So that's coming up. That's the first symptom of abandonment, an abandonment wound that needs to be worked through. The second symptom that it's bringing up is intimacy. So intimacy is that ability to get close with someone, right? It's not just physical intimacy, but that breath that you take in, that collective sigh, where you can just relax and be yourself around that person and not feel like you're going to be rejected, right? So we have, again, these 2 symptoms coming up. Intimacy is just knowing that you're accepted and loved for who you are, and being able to connect with others through your heart on a deep level because you feel safe with them. That's where that comes from, okay? Now the third symptom is vulnerability. Again, being able to just really let your guard down and actually be who you are, right? We could say we have to work through vulnerability first, and being able to put ourselves out there without feeling like we're going to be rejected or dismissed even. This could be a very passive energy where people just don't give you any acknowledgement or any praise for who you are. Those are things that we can work through, of course. But that also leads into that intimacy issue where you don't really feel safe being who you are. And so you don't feel vulnerable, right? And you don't feel like you're going to be safe if you are vulnerable. So you won't really put yourself out there. You won't really put yourself kind of on the line, and you won't show up authentically, right? You won't show up like, hey, this is who I am. Take it or leave it, right? So when we work through rejection too, we can kind of counterbalance some of the intimacy and vulnerability stuff when it comes up, okay? The next one is burden. That's the next symptom. So feeling like a burden. And we saw how his, even this new, what is it called? A troop, I guess, that they're trying to integrate him with at the zoo. They even rejected him too, right? But in humanity, when this comes up within us as a person, feeling like a burden really shows up like, you know, your presence is causing pain for someone else, for example. Or maybe this is just internal for you. It's something more like, you know, I don't want to ask for help because I don't want to be a burden. Or I don't want to let people know what problems I'm having because I don't want to be a burden. It's that kind of energy, and we can work through that. The 5th symptom is responsibility. And I want to use Punch the Monkey for this example because he, even though he's just a baby, right? He is doing something that we all need to do if we want to start healing from, you know, situations, especially around family, that have caused us pain. And what he's doing is he's self-soothing, and we're seeing him do that with his stuffed toy that he's taking everywhere, right? He's finding a way to connect, and he's soothing his inner child. But he's also staying open. Notice how he is And I know I'm talking about a monkey here and people have different issues, but I'm just going to use him as an example here to just illustrate why so many people are feeling drawn to this story. What he's doing is he still has an open heart, and you can see by him trying to put himself out there, that's vulnerability with this new group, right? He's putting himself out there and he's still trying to connect, and when there are certain ones that are connecting with him, he's remaining open to that. So this is an example of like what can happen and what we want to work towards. We want to work towards leaving our hearts open, even if the past has caused us pain. I'm not saying don't have boundaries. I think boundaries are critically important, but when you leave your heart open, you remain open to the fact that maybe things can be different, or maybe when your heart is more open, new people will come in that you had no idea that you were going to find your tribe, just because you tried some new things and you tried connecting with other people, and maybe you took on some new hobbies. But in the journey of getting there, in the journey of you healing yourself, you want to try to not isolate, but also take care of yourself. Make sure you ask for some support, whether that's a therapist or a healer or a coach or a mentor or whoever you feel comfortable working with, but finding somebody that can help you while you're working through all of this and kind of give you an outside perspective and help you navigate some of the challenging emotions that might be coming up. What we can do over time is just get the abandonment wound kind of symptomless. I just feel like it's important to recognize the symptoms when they do come up and just kind of navigate one symptom at a time. And what will happen if you work with this energy is you just won't really feel the symptoms anymore, right? You'll start to kind of desensitize yourself to the rejection. And the way that you do that is by accepting and loving yourself. It's wonderful to have a community and have other people that you can connect with, and we need that as human beings. But also you need to be able to know that if someone does reject you or does push you aside or is passive aggressive with you in some way or is angry at you, you need to be able to be aware enough to self-reflect and able to discern whether there is something that you need to work through with this person, right? Or whether this person is just treating you in some way and that says everything about them and nothing about you, and that does happen. But you need to be able to discern. So there's a level of self-awareness that comes with this where you have to know which one it is. And that's where having an outside perspective really helps, because sometimes somebody who isn't attached to your situation or the things that you've been through throughout your life can help you see things from a different perspective. And it doesn't mean right, wrong, this way or that way, but it's just a different lens to look through the situation that you're dealing with, right? And kind of assess whether moving forward in the relationship feels good to you, or whether maybe you need to update your boundaries, or maybe this relationship needs to end. And certainly this comes up in all types of relationships as well. So I just wanted to make this video. It's my very first one on this channel. Thank you for being here. And I'd love to hear how you resonated with this down below in the comments.